had to go in every day for radiation to my eyes. I had to be re-hospitalized. The radiation burnt my salivary glands. We have low ones, but we also have higher ones towards more in the center of our head here, about this area. And the radiation had burnt my salivary glands, and I was drinking more than 50 glasses of fluid a day. I could not satiate my thirst. I simply couldn't satiate my thirst. And they were concerned that my bladder would burst or something. You know, my electrolytes would be all sort of disturbed because of all of this liquid. And I had dreams. I had dreams of being in this garden with oasis juices pouring on me with my mouth open. And these huge, house-sized jugs of juice pouring into my mouth and all over my hair and face and body. Because at home they wouldn't let me, my mother was there caring for me, helping me to move in and everything, and they had to hide the juices. They had to literally hide. I had hidden ginger ale under my bed from my mother and sister who were coming to care for me and cook and clean and move me in and unpack my boxes. I literally hid the fluids under my bed because I didn't think I could survive the night with the amount that the doctor had allowed me legally to have at that point. I was re-hospitalized during that period of radiation, just after my radiation, and I begged my radiologist to give me a lung x-ray. I said, I had this hacking cough, I had it all summer, I had it the whole time calling candidacy. I don't understand it. This cough won't go away. It doesn't seem to me, no, we're not going to, your oncologist is on vacation, we're not going to do the lung x-ray. I said, oh, I really think we should. No, even if it showed something, I mean, you've got eye cancer, you've got metastases, what else could you, you've got enough on your plate. Okay, after my radiation therapy, I was assigned to a new oncologist for patients whose cancer had metastasized. She decided to authorize a lung x-ray at our first meeting, which revealed a life-threatening spread of cancer to both lungs. Meanwhile, she had me hospitalized for that salivary gland disorder due to the eye radiation. I recall that during that hospitalization, 5 doctors moved as a wall toward my hospital bed to announce to me that I had somehow, and I quote, this is verbatim, fallen through the cracks. The routine lung x-ray that I had had months earlier, which had demonstrated the beginning of cancer in my lungs, had simply gone unnoticed. At a time when I should have been receiving treatment, chemo treatment, months earlier, I had fallen through the cracks, and my cancer had gone unnoticed and was spreading like wildfire through both lungs, through my eyes and my head. But none of this went unnoticed by me. This wall of doctors coming in. We are sorry to tell you, Mrs. Paul, that your case has fallen through the cracks. But not God's crack. I might have been falling through the cracks, but you know where I was falling? Right into his arrowhead arm. The second and third cancer diagnosis I've had to live with this second, the eyes and the lungs, I've had to live with the reality that I am a stage 4, I'm presently a stage 4 terminal cancer patient. My disease is not curable. I'm in the 9th of a 12-month life prognosis, life expectancy. My most recent CT scan of several weeks ago indicates probable cancer activity in the lobes of each lung. As of last week, my oncologist indicated once again that it's just a matter of time before the cancer spreads. Aggressive chemo is temporarily stalling its growth. reached the limits of what my chemo can do for me. I'm now off chemo for the first time in 13 months, as of several weeks. I'm awaiting test results from the Mayo Clinic right now to see if I'm a suitable candidate for a new antibody for Herceptin, not yet available in Canada. There's only a 20% chance that I can match, that my protein expression will match this drug. And even if I do fall in that 1 out of 5 chances, that 20%, I have to go on a lottery system because there's such a demand and there's so little of the drug available. But God is sovereign. And if this doesn't work, if I don't qualify by not being 20%, if I don't qualify through the lottery system, I'm ultimately God's child and He's in control. I do not qualify. Okay, there are several other strategies that we can look at, but this is by far Herceptin is the most. It's the most effective antibody for advanced breast cancer, for this type of micron cancer. I cannot accurately describe the difference this second round of cancer has made in my life. Each day is a precious gift. There's a real sense of privilege associated with this experience with cancer. The deeper the suffering, the greater the insight. The purer the intimacy with God, the more real the ecstasy and joy of my identification with Christ. He matches each one of my losses with more grace. He giveth more grace. Always, that just sears through my brain that He giveth more grace, because every time I thought I was at the bottom and I couldn't go lower, He gave me more grace. You have to understand, this winter I was in a hospital bed on an oxygen system, couldn't breathe for myself, couldn't walk 3 steps, needed 24-hour nursing assistance, had to eliminate in a bedpan, was ousted from my marital bedroom in another room in a hospital bed where the pros took care of me 24 hours around the clock. You have to understand the fear that my children had, seeing their mother in a hospital bed who could no longer care, who had a terminal, what do they call it, a palliative care doctor. I was on morphine 24 hours a day, ladies. I'm on nothing now. Nothing. I was on morphine 24 hours a day. It was huge, bloated by steroids and every other, just so many drugs. I must have been taking 35 medications a day. On the puffer and the oxygen machine, and just unimaginable. I never thought I would get through that winter. I never thought I'd be here today speaking to you about suffering. Such is the grace of God. Why did He allow the chemo to work for me? Why? I know Christian women who have died in the last year, who had left children behind. Why me, Lord? All I can say is that it is God's grace, and I appreciate this time, this window with my family, this opportunity to share with you today. This is a window of grace, and may God be glorified. My body was doing this, and prayer did this. My body was doing this, and prayer did this. This chemo could not have worked. Why me, Lord? This is just grace. Every hour to me is a gift. Every day is so precious. So this cancer experience is qualitatively completely different than the other one.